Greetings, my sports to the bone family. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for checking this one out. All right, my peeps. So last night I was actually listening to an interview on Sports Max. We had the interim West Indies head coach Andre Coley, and he had quite a few things to say as it relates to what he's expecting to do as he steps into the job and what CWI are actually trying to achieve going into the near future. So there are a couple of things that I wrote down coming out of this interview that I'm going to talk to you guys about, and you can just let me know in the comment section if you guys buy into what Mr. Andre Coley is saying or not. All right, and just make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed, and make sure you leave a like. All right, so I think the first question that was thrown to him, they asked whether or not he would be interested in the job if everything goes well on a long-term basis. And he was basically saying that that conversation did not happen between him and CWI as to, whether or not he will be offered the position if he does well, or if the team does well in Zimbabwe and South Africa. You understand? So he's saying he's not too sure about that. It would depend on whether or not he wants to throw his name in the hat. But as it relates to a long-term thing, there hasn't been a conversation between him and CWI. That is what he is saying, my viewers and subscribers. I don't know. That is what he's saying. So obviously CWI would still be looking for a long-term solution. So our cricket is still the coach, the head coach position is still, I don't want to say up for grabs, but it is still not settled based on what he is saying. We were thinking that maybe this man, they said to him, say, listen, if you go on the team, performs well in Zimbabwe and South Africa, you can probably, be one of the front runners. But based on what he's saying, that conversation did not happen. You understand? So he's saying if it goes well and, what they are saying lines up with his goals, then he will definitely think about taking the job on. But that conversation has not been had as yet, but he will have to work. He's saying that he would have to work with the group, the diverse group, everybody, and see how they react, see how they get along while they go through Zimbabwe and South Africa. And then he would, according to him, speak to his family and people and see whether or not, he should throw his name in the ring for that job. He was also asked some uncomfortable questions. He was asked whether or not he thinks this West Indies team is uncoachable, because quite a few coaches would have, even international coaches would have tried to take up the job, and usually coming out of the job, things, their coaching reputation usually take a hit after coaching West Indies. But he had to give the political correct answer that it's not the team is not uncoachable or anything like that. It's not a case where people are pulling in different direction, because different islands come together to form the team, and people going always want people from their country in the team, whether they can play, whether they can make the team or not. So what he's saying is that is not a problem. The team is not uncoachable. It's just coming up with the right strategy and coming up with making sure that you are communicating well. He's saying that he's excited for the challenge, and he's definitely looking forward to getting to know the guys a little better and a thing. He was also asked whether or not the backroom staff has been named. That would be the people that are going to work with him for the Zimbabwe and South Africa tours. And he was saying that they are still finalizing things, they are still talking, but everything should be sorted out by the end of this week. So that is what he's saying. By the end of this week, things should be sorted out. Today is what? Today is Thursday when I'm doing this video. So hopefully by Saturday they would sort out things that we can hear an announcement of those who would be working with him as background staff. You understand? He said that he's looking forward to working with the squad, and you know, it's all about picking players that fit the plans, you know, setting down the goals, the plans, the objectives of the team, and picking players that suit that plan, that they can work with to get good results in Zimbabwe and in South Africa. You know, wanting to select people on time and letting people feel confident so they can go out there to express themselves. You know, want to give people an opportunity to give a good account of themselves, and you know, so that is basically what he's saying, my viewers and subscribers. The approach is to basically go there on assignment, try and get victories. You know, that is the aim, to get victories in Zimbabwe and also in South Africa. You know, it's all about winning based on what he's saying. And according to him, they don't want to set goals that are not realistic. You know, they know where the team is at. So it's about setting goals that will build up to future goals. That is basically what he's saying. You know, he has worked with a couple of these players before. People like Craig Brathwaite and Jason Holder and these guys. I think he would have worked with these guys when they were at the under-19 level at the World Cup. And they actually finished off Brathwaite, it was actually Brathwaite, Holt and Blackwood, and these guys are pillars in the test team now. He worked with those guys at the under-19 level, and based on what he was saying, you know, I think he guided them to a third place victory back then. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see how the relationships would have changed over the years. According to him, it has always been a lot of respect. Guys would have gotten older, would have gotten more used to playing at the international level and things like that, but the mutual respect is there based on what he's saying. And you know, he was asked whether overseas coach, you know, tends to get more respect than local coaches, and he's saying that it's not a case of players responding more to overseas coaches or giving them more respect. It all has to do with the style, the playing style of the coach, you know, and how the coach get their strategies across to the players. So, you know, he's saying that he's not worried about being a local coach and going in. It's all about getting the strategies right and how he communicates to the players and things like that. So it's going to be interesting, my viewers and subscribers, you know, to see how the players will work with Andre Coley. As I said, he would have worked at this with these guys for, you know, guys across the region, because he worked at the ICC, the High Performance Center, worked as assistant coach already. I think he was assistant coach to Otis Gibson. There was this coach from Australia also, I think it's Stuart Law he's called, if I'm not mistaken. He was a part of that staff there. So, you know, he has fair amount of experience working with professional cricketers. So you know, according to him, the test team competed well in Australia, and it's about going out there and making sure that they pick up the pieces and hopefully not sustain any injuries and go in. You know, I think the final thing that he was asked is if he was given specifics as to what they are expecting from him. What did they give him an ultimatum? Do you is it that he needs to win the series? What are they expecting? You know, he was asked what CWI told him. According to him, they are still in negotiate. Well, they are still finalizing some of what they are expecting to get out of these tours. But generally speaking, it's about going and winning. You understand? But we don't know. A lot of the interview was him giving some politically correct answer. Some good questions, you know, we had some good questions from the host on the Sportsmax program there. But as I said, Andre Coley giving some politically correct answer. So it's all about waiting and seeing. You know, he said that by the end of this week, they should finalize the backroom staff. Hopefully by then, they would have, they give us, hopefully by then, by the end of this week into next week, they give us that information, and then by the middle of next week we can hear the team and all of that. So just wanted you guys to hear and to basically get an understanding of what the interim coach is up to, my peeps. Big up on yourself. I will touch base later on. Zane.